Pet Talk UK, Pro Beez, once again. Remember, subscribe, and I'm delighted to be joined by the first time by the heavyweight sensation from down under, NZ, Junior 4. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's good to catch up, man. I thought I'd kind of reach out to you because a few months ago, I had a conversation with David Higgins, promoter David Higgins, and he told me that there was a fight in the works for you and Joseph Parker, and it would seem we're a bit closer. What can you tell me?
Yeah, definitely, definitely a lot closer to what we were a few months ago. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to gauge because of how the world is right now with the pandemic going on. It's a bit hard to plan things around that. But but in terms of me and Parker actually getting closer to an actual fight and an actual date, we are very close. So we've got a few things that we just need to smoothen out on the contract to basically make our side happy and make their side happy as well. And then I'm pretty sure that these things will get sorted soon, and then we'll be down to fight.
You mentioned a contract. Now, a few months ago, I think there's some reports about money. I think Dave, he kind of talked about money being an issue, that you wanted more money. What is the truth behind that?
That's just part of normal negotiations. So you don't just go into a fight and just accepting the first offer. That's usually not how it goes. And so I didn't actually have too much to do with that. It was just my team. So my team met with Parker team. They were throwing out numbers. My side wasn't happy. And then eventually my side was happy. So it wasn't too much of a back and forth. I just know that my team did their job, was just to make sure that they could get as much as they could. And I'm pretty sure that's what every manager's and promoter's job is to do, is to make as much money as they can for their fighter.
That's it, man. You got to get that moolah, man. You got to get that moolah, baby. So you mentioned a few other details in the contract. I stumbled across something about gloves. What can you tell me also about this situation involving the gloves in the contract?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that there's no room for any chance of foul play, so that's my team. My team is very adamant on making sure that the contract is airtight, making sure that there's no room to play with, because like I've said before, boxing isn't the cleanest sport. We don't have a good history. There's things that still go on, even though things have been put into place to stop guys from cheating, but somehow cheaters still manage to squeeze through the cracks. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're just trying to make sure that it's just a fair game between me and Parker. And gloves is a big thing for us. There's always talks about there's always people saying that the gloves isn't a big deal, because gloves do get signed off by the commission and by both teams. But even so, we've seen in the past where gloves have been, maybe tampered with in the changing room somehow. So that's just something that we just want to get rid of totally. It's more of my team making sure that they are comfortable with everything that's going to happen on the night, For myself, I've seen a few things on YouTube with older fights back in the day. And I believe now we live in a time where sanctioning bodies and rules are placed after cheating happens. So so we just don't want my fight to be what's the words? I don't want to be on the bad end of any type of foul play. So so I believe that my team's doing the right job, trying to make sure that, like, you know, that the contract is just airtight.
Now, tough assignment. Joseph Parker, well-respected former heavyweight champion of the world, but you've managed to get 2 victories over him in the amateurs.
Like, I think confidence in fighting anyone isn't much of a big deal. You know, it's just something that we need to deal with, because like this fight did come a lot sooner than what we planned for, but that's come with the coronavirus pandemic. So I didn't plan to fight him straight away. I planned to fight him after like 2 or 3 more fights, which I actually had scheduled earlier on this year. But then with the pandemic going on, that just threw those 3 fights out the way. We can't travel outside to fight anywhere else, and if we do, it'll cost us a fortune to basically quarantine ourselves back as well. So yeah, so this fight is here. Joseph and I live in the same country. The fight's there. We're both ranked in the top 15 of the WBO. So why not, you know? Why not?
Are you thinking about a potential win catapulting you to big levels in the heavyweight division?
100%, 100%. You know, this will propel me to just big fights, the fights that I want. Like, you know, the places where I want to be. I really want to test myself against the best boxers in the world. So beating Joseph Parker will allow me to do that.
100%. So, look, I do know that you've had some good sparring in your career. You know, notably, Deontay Wilder is one that comes to mind. And I've seen that you state that before the fight you had with Tyson Fury, that he sustained a bicep injury. Do you think in any way that kind of hampered his performance against Tyson Fury?
Going into a fight, I don't think anyone is ever 100%. And every fighter knows that. You know, we all have to deal with something in a fight. You know, either it's a bad leg, a bad bicep, a bad arm, a sore chest, or whatever, slightly sick. So yeah, so like, you know, those things do take a toll on the fighter's mentality. But from what I saw from Tyson, man, Tyson came in with a game plan that I really wasn't expecting, you know. To be honest, I was expecting him to be quite similar to the first fight, where he moved around a lot and he boxed off his back foot. But then when I saw the second fight happen, I was like, oh, dang, like, you know, this is a completely different Tyson. Do I think the bicep injury would have made a difference? I don't know, man. I don't know, because I don't really know what the extent of the damage was. I don't know where Wilder's head was at, so I'm not too sure if it would have made too much of a difference. But the Tyson that I saw come out in the second fight was definitely a Tyson that I wasn't expecting. So I wonder if they were expecting that as well.
See, this information is kind of, it's been kind of frowned upon. What do you make of all of this, all the cynics, you know, dismissing Deontay Wilder's reasons for why he lost against Fury?
It is what it is, man. You know, I mean, like, yeah, it sucks that it comes off that way. To me, like, you know, I just give all props to Tyson Fury. You know, I just give all props to him. And yeah, it just feels like people love to hate on Deontay Wilder. Yeah, so that to me wasn't too much of a surprise when they were just when they were just banging on about it. But I don't know. That is what it is, man.
Deontay's been remarkably quiet. Have you had any conversation with him ahead of the third fight in the trilogy?
No, because yeah, just because I was wondering the same thing when they were talking about Pulev and Anthony Joshua. That actually made me think about the trilogy between Tyson and Wilder. So yeah, man, I have no clue what's going on.
Any indications about the bicep injury as it sort of healed up? ahead of the trilogy, or because some people say that he might not even make the fight against Tyson Fury?
Yeah, nah. In terms of the injury, I have no idea. In terms of the fight actually happening or not happening, I have no idea as well. But yeah, but that'll be interesting if it doesn't happen. Yeah, no, that'll be interesting.
100%. So look, before we kind of close out, what is the date for you and Parker potentially, if it gets all rubber stamped?
Yeah, so we're looking towards the end of the year, November or December. So like, you know, that'll be a good end of the year. I haven't fought in almost a year. By the time we potentially fight, it'll be over a year. I think that's the same as Parker as well. So yeah, so towards the end of the year, November, December, and yeah, man, I think that both of us just can't wait.
To start banging out. Hey, look, we'd like to thank you, Junior Fall, for your time. Big up the whole of New Zealand, straight from London town. And yeah, man, looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a madness.
Thank
Junior
you so
Fall,
much for
thanks for your time. Pet Talk.
Thank you, no
Make sure you
problem,
subscribe.
man.
Boom, boom. Thank you, man.
Nah, no problem, man. My pleasure.